In this video, I wanted to go through classifying some numbers with examples. So, up top we have the real number line. That gives us the natural numbers, the whole numbers, and the integers. So let's start by classifying the number -10 thirds. Where would this one fall on the number line? Well, it's definitely not positive, and it's not 0. That means we could be dealing with an integer. However, we remember that rational numbers are the set of numbers which are m over n. N is not equal to 0. So it looks like we may have a rational number. And we also see that there's this negative sign out front, which means it's to the left of 0. It's going to be this way. This means that we have a negative rational number. Now let's try another example. This time we will figure out what number set root 5 is. So looking at the square root of 5, we see that it's a positive one, which is going to lie on the right side of the real number line, making it positive. We also know that root 5 is not going to be 0. We also have kind of an idea that the square root of 5 is not going to be an integer because it's not a whole number. Working out on a calculator, the square root of 5 is approximately 2.2360679 ... When we look at this, we see that there's no kind of repeating numbers here, which indicates that the square root of 5 is going to be an irrational number. Now let's try another one. This example is going to be the negative square root of 289. Looking at this, we can see that there's a negative sign out front. So with that as a starting point, we'll see that it's going to lie to the left of the real number line. Then, when you look at 289, that's essentially the quantity of 17 squared, and there's still the negative outside of the square root. This means that we're still left with a negative 17. Now looking at this though, it's going to be a negative rational number. The way to think about this is m is going to be equal to 289, n is equal to 17, but we still kind of have this negative sign out front of the rational. So the way to think about this is the negative quantity of 289 over 17, and what that's going to give us is our negative 17. I just want to go through two more examples for now. They'll be really quick. What would be the classification of negative 6 pi? Well, we can see it's negative, so it's going to be on the left-hand side of the real number line. It involves pi, which we know is irrational because it is not repeating and non-terminating. So what this leaves us with is a negative irrational number. Finally, how would you classify this number? Looking at it, it falls to the right-hand side of the real number line, so it's positive. But when you look closely at this, it doesn't really repeat, and it seems to go on indefinitely, so it's non-terminating. That would mean that this is a positive, irrational number.